This is The Scene
on BBC Radio London with Aurie Styla.
This is The Scene.
Tell it ring, I dressing up in I red, white and
Is that the
black.
next brunch?
No, it's not. No, I'm not gonna be. We don't do so correct that one. So behave yourself, right? It's a different kind of music we do. All right. So have you guys been hearing what I've been speaking about in terms of bringing people up and bringing them down again? Samuel, you don't, because you ran into the studio right into the microphone as the tune finished. So you didn't. So our topic today, which in a minute, big shout out to Kieran. I'm going to read out your text in a second. Our topic today is about building people up and bringing them down. Now, AJ, we saw what happened over the weekend. He went to Madison Square Garden. Yeah. Went and fought Andy Ruiz, and he didn't win. He got Andy ruined. Some people have been saying on social media. And what's been a running theme is really kind of slating him. Now, I'm somebody who, even though it was a bad lose, I support AJ.
Yeah, sure.
It's like a football team. If you lose, you lose.
Sure.
But on social media, it's like everybody's trying to bring him down. One of the memes, which I will not lie, everyone's seen this, I laughed my head off because of just how creative it was. Was one of the punches hit the boxer, hit AJ, and then it looked like his soul turned around and caught a flight back to the UK. It was that one. It was a good meme. From a comedic aspect and perspective, it was a good meme. Right? But I'm not somebody who's going to sit there and go, well, you lost and you're not my guy no more. I'm also not one of those people that was like, he is the best. I'm realistic. You lose, but get up and let's go again. I said earlier on, Mike Tyson lost to Buster. Yeah. Not Buster Rhymes, a different Buster. Douglas. Yeah. But he lost to Buster, and guess what? Mike is still one of the undisputed, we could say. Not really undisputed because he's lost, but he's got one of the hardest hits in boxing, one of the dons that we still see. Exactly. So why is it that we have a culture now that we bring down people after they've reached the top? Remember, AJ won WBA, WBO and IBF belts, right? And he lost them all now. But why are we going, oh, now you're bad, you're terrible, you're awful, when we were building him up in the first place? I'm going to read this text right here. Big shout out to Kieran, who has said Anthony Joshua deserves to feel the heat after his despicable performance on Saturday night. If you're going to lose to someone good, someone like Deontay Wilder. He spelled Deontay incorrectly. No, it's fine. Shade. But big up. I don't want him to be totally slated, but it's the way he lost. He wasn't even trying. He got beat by a sumo wrestler. Knocked down 4 times. Kiss my teeth. That was from Kieran Fearon. And now, let me throw it to you, lot. What do you lot think? Sam, what are you saying?
First thing I'll say is, Kieran, could you do any better? That's what I would say. Could you do any better?
War.
He's the champ for a reason. Well, he was the champ for a reason. Yeah. He looked gassed out, to be honest. He looked gassed out. He looked like he was out of his element. 100%. He looked like he was just like not in his right sense of mind. That should have been an easy win for him. Everyone was shocked. Everyone. But like you said before, like when you get knocked down, you have to come back up.
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
I mean, you can't... You're a winner. You've won. But then if you lose, does it make you now an automatic 100% loser?
I feel like everyone just compares their records now to Mayweather. Because obviously Mayweather has been like 50-0. He hasn't lost a fight. And I feel like that's what everyone kind of holds it up to. But I'm like, Mayweather was in a different division then, isn't it? He's
much different division.
Do you know what I mean? So it's different. But I'm not going to lie. I saw that fight. AJ.
It was painful to watch.
It was very painful.
It was. Nisha, did you watch it?
I watched the highlights.
Yeah?
But I didn't watch it. I went to see Aladdin.
Better choice.
He's still like...
It's a better choice.
Listen, Aladdin was good, Joe. Will Smith, he's
It was too musical.
No, man.
It wasn't. It's exactly like...
I thought out of the loop, bro. I ain't even seen Aladdin.
The original.
We spoke about this last week, right? And it was it last week or week before? Week before.
It wasn't too much musical.
It was too musical.
It was like an Indian wedding. It was amazing.
So it took you back to home then?
Took me back to, my ancestors. Yeah, no, it was, I loved it. And Will Smith's unreal.
Okay. Well, it sounds like a crush there,
I'm
isn't it?
absolutely in awe with that man. No, he was sick. He was so good.
Yeah?
Agree.
But the fight, it's a sport, innit? So I mean, he lost. Oh well.
Are you one of those? Are you one of those people? Because there is a large amount of people that love Anthony Joshua because of how attractive he is. Are you one of those people that...
No, he's a very good-looking man. Like, you can't, think that. But no, I saw this actually, memes, like how, you were saying about how people think them and that. But there was a meme that there was, all these... They say that men are unloyal, but where's all the groupies that are all Anthony Joshua faces and all of that? Like, where are your, love hearts around him now that
It's
he's
very
lost.
true.
It was so funny, like the way like they just put it on girls that are just gassed over him.
No, see, this is. I mean, you make a point there. Where are you? Where are you? I didn't see. I ain't seen the
groupies at.
This is what I'm saying. I know there's probably some there still in silent, going, "Babe, I still love you." But why is it that? I mean, for so many years, a man's been built up, and then as soon as he loses one fight, and it's only one fight, many have lost more. One fight.
Who he lost it to.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Is that the main reason?
I think it is, bro. Because I don't think if he kept his record intact and he faced Deontay Wilder and he lost, we would be like, okay, but it's Deontay Wilder. Okay. Ruiz was, like he didn't look half as decent or good in shape as AJ.
Sorry, what did you say?
He like a Mexican Uber driver. I remember.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
okay, so just to give some context to people, Ruiz is actually Mexican, and to all the Uber drivers listening,
no,
they come in all shapes and sizes
and races and cultures.
Nisha, I'm here doing like damage control in case we get a text from an Uber driver now saying, excuse me. Well, Akua, I mean, are we a culture that builds up people, brings them down, and if so, why?
Yeah, because it's. I think it's all hype and excitement. People don't even understand the game. I don't know. I think people are just caught up in the hype and the excitement, and it's exactly what Sam said. Who he lost to. I paid no attention to this fight. My friends are in New York. They were gassed.
Yeah. Did they get flown over by?
No, I weren't. My friends don't. No.
Oh, okay.
No flued over business.
Okay. Flued, yeah?
No flued.
Oh, flued, yeah?
No.
Is that flued? That's the word we're looking for, flued.
No flued over business. But yeah, no, it's what it is. Nowadays, everyone's so quick to jump on the bandwagon, get gassed and get hyped and be like, oh yeah, we like this person. And the minute they do something wrong, we dash them and then forget about them, go for the next one. Pop culture is so light and quick and fast these days.
Yeah.
And
it's
fickle.
Disposable. And fickle,
Very fickle.
So people don't have loyalty. I mean, I didn't give a damn about the fight, to be honest. I've gone off boxing nowadays. But I've seen actually some positivity. I've seen people say, look, it doesn't mean he's down and out for the count. He's a boxer. This is how the career goes. Yeah. It's up, it's down, it's high.
See,
I
messaged him straight away. I tweeted him straight away.
I messaged my friend. I messaged, my friend, I call him A. I messaged A and I let him know, bro, listen, Mama's got some jollof rice waiting for you when you get here.
It was admirable with what he said as well, like on the mic after, and he was just like, it just shows his personality. Like he's
No, what did he say?
Then he was like, he said all that stuff like, this, like, it wasn't mine. Well done, congratulations. He was humble. Like, he was humble about it. That's
was that
cool.
fake humble? Why are you shaking your head?
Whatever it was.
I know exactly why you're shaking your head.
You know exactly.
I know exactly.
Why is it fake humble?
Because let's keep it real.
The man.
Let's keep it real. We know that from history, even if you want to go, I mean, we know AJ from before thing, right? Okay, I'm assuming.
Yeah, of course.
All right, cool. So, and then in the beginning of his boxing, you could see, like, I wouldn't say the real AJ, but you'd see the AJ that you'd expect. Not so much the hungry, but the ones where
arrogant.
When you're not even arrogant, but when it's bravado. When you're sitting in front of a man that you're about to box and you're trying to like let people know what time it is bruv, you're not winning this.
Exactly.
Me and you,
we didn't see none of that.
Yeah, we didn't see none of that, but that's what we know is in him. But it's more the polished. Well, he got his punch in and he did well, and well done to him. There's a part of us that wanted to sit here and say, blood. How? No. Are you, what? Like, there's a part of us, I guess, that wanted to see that. Yeah. Which is why I know where Samuel's, some of the words I'm not saying.
It's so lovely.
I don't understand. You want him to be just... Honestly, like, I can't believe I lost.
I
can't believe I lost, but show some emotion, my brother.
Yeah,
you lost.
It was very controlled.
Like, it was so like, oh yeah, but he won. And I'm like, what do you mean? If you lost the fight, show something.
I saw a cynical response that he made a couple bags, so maybe he's all right.
No, I don't think it's about money for
It's about a fight.
Him.
It's about a fight.
No, I get it as the audience, it's about a fight.
But if that's
I'm just asking.
But if that's what boxing has come to, where we're sitting there going, well, boy, he made money. Why do we care?
I'm not saying. I'm just seeing people say that. I mean, it shouldn't be. It should be. That's one sport that should be so full of passion. You've got to have heart behind it. But I'm just saying, people are saying, well, boy, he made a bag. Why are you not crying?
Okay. I just want to get a quick glimpse to my producer. I saw that we got another message from Kieran. There was 2 there. The first one's gone, yeah. Okay, cool. No, there's actually 3 because there's one that I read and there's 2 that I saw. One popped up and I don't think I can read it. But this one I will read from Kieran Ferrin. He said, I actually think he should forget the rematch because there's a rematch clause that Eddie Hearn, his manager, has said we're going to do. Or promoter, manager, what you want to say. Rematch because he would lose again. He needs to go away and work on a few things.
What does he need to work on, guys?
He just needs to throw his hands more.
Okay.
I feel like
that's the honest truth. He needs to throw his hands more.
I feel like
AJ's a power puncher.
He's a very powerful puncher.
So he's trying to knock you out with one bang. And he's got the power to do that. But in that fight, when he tried it weren't happening. And Ruiz was just all over him. He didn't give him no space, no room, no nothing.
So to get to this rematch, does he have to go through a couple of battles before he gets there?
It doesn't have to happen that way, no.
Go straight into
they
him.
can do, but you wouldn't. You would have to come back and say, let me rethink my strategy.
He needs to fight a few more Ruizes, like type body structure.
No,
right?
but the problem is, I know what you're saying, but the thing is, Ruiz was the Ruizes he needed to fight. Because the real fight we're looking for is like Fury and Wilder and even Ortiz and stuff. But the Ruiz was the Ruiz he needed to fight, if that makes sense. So that's why everyone's so disappointed, I guess. But does that disappointment have to translate into
letting it, like
everyone bringing him down?
No,
man,
that's out of order. It's like you football supporters, do you turn on your team when they lose?
If you support Man United, then I understand because I support Man United.
Arsenal fans have turned.
So you turn your back on.
I said to them, if Man United sell Paul Pogba this summer, I'm not supporting them ever again.
And how do you feel?
How do I feel now as a Man United fan? I think that club is in shambles right now.
But that's maybe, is it because they behave? Yeah, it's true. But you're turning your back. Where's your loyalty?
I mean, I've been loyal.
But on the other side is, are they loyal to him? Because now they ain't winning and he's supporting.
So is that the same?
No, but not even just that. Like you've seen cracks happen ever since the old man left. So Alex Ferguson.
I have no idea.
You wouldn't know.
Straight away, she's like, she doesn't watch football. So Alex,
I support Chelsea, I think.
You support Chelsea, you think?
You weren't sure.
All right, so I support Chelsea. Thank you.
Oh, okay,
a real Chelsea fan.
Yeah, don't spud me. I think. All right, I'll spud you because I'm happy because Wednesday we did bits, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, we did bits.
But you don't even know what happened. What did we win on Wednesday?
I don't know.
My goodness. Europa? No, never mind, man. I'm not even going to talk to you about this. Put it this way: it was Arsenal versus Chelsea, and
I knew that
4-1.
Yeah, 4-1.
Dirty 4-1.
Yeah, wicked.
I was at Box Park in Wembley. Big up, Nisha, because that's where you're going to be doing the body painting and body art stuff.
Yeah.
Box Park in Wembley, right? It was about 75% Arsenal fans.
Oh,
right, and then the rest were Chelsea fans, right? And they were getting arrogant in the first half, like, yeah, we're just warming up. And then we banged in one goal, and then we banged in another goal. And you can see their faces slowly deflate.
Yep.
Oh, that was wonderful.
It was a beautiful sight. It was let me just whisper this, ladies and gentlemen, that was an amazing sight. Oh my. Wednesday, when Chelsea beat Arsenal, and all those people that were throwing drinks around the place saying, you lot are Chelsea fans.
Do you know what I kind of wish, though? I really wish Tottenham won the Champions League final because that's 2 daggers. That's literally like Arsenal could never say nothing again.
But this is the thing.
Again.
Hold on, wait. Can I just say this is turning into a football conversation?
No, but wait.
We're just saying.
We'll finish it on this one bit, because I agree with you on that one. If
I'm learning so much.
Hold on. So hold on. Our assistant editor is an Arsenal fan. Sports editor is Chelsea fan. Big up the sports editor.
Yes,
and our station editor is a Spurs fan. So it's a mix in here, right? What I was going to say with the whole thing there, what I don't like is when Arsenal fans go, yes, Tottenham didn't win, I'm happy. That's like being a man waiting for a bus, seeing another car break down and going, ha ha, shame on you, big man, your bus ain't come yet. And you're on the bus. Do you see what I'm saying? You didn't win and your bus hasn't reached yet. You're still in the same place my man is. But guess what? When he fixes his car, he's zooming off right there.
Exactly.
That's how it feels. So yeah.
Go Chelsea.
Go Chelsea. Building up people, bringing them down. That's the thing. I think it is something that we do. We need to stop doing because everyone was calling this like another Frank Bruno situation, and that was
what man. They compared AJ to Frank.
They were comparing AJ to Frank Bruno, saying this is a whole nother Bruno. So I think me and my brother had the conversation. He's putting his hand up right now, and he said, "Yeah, I think it's another Bruno situation." And people were behind Bruno, and then all of a sudden it was like, "What? Nah!" And then
Wow.
I mean, come on.
It's
not
deep.
That deep.
It's not that deep. AJ's young, and his winning streak as well is in the 20s. Even though it's a lot of wins with no losses, and that puts you in the forefront of people's eyes, it's still a young game for him. He's still got years to go. He fought Klitschko. Klitschko was at the end of his career in that kind of sense, and Klitschko was still able to hold fights, and his stats spoke. AJ's not even got to that point yet where he's got the same numbers as Klitschko, and Klitschko's been fighting for the longest time, holding the title for how long he held it before. The game might have been quiet then, but he still held it for a while. AJ can do so. So why are we looking at him going, you failed us? Maybe
I think he's just
match.
in the moment. I'm sure people will be backing him. You know, it's not like he can't walk down the street. Maybe he might feel a bit shame for a bit.
No,
he should feel no shame.
Shame.
You shouldn't feel no shame.
Let a man talk to AJ and say, bruv, you lost to him. And AJ go, what?
Yeah, exactly.
Can't we have a conversation?
Because he's still got that one bang. He still has that power. Like, what are you talking about? The power never left him.
This is what I'm saying. Every man that was saying stuff, I mean, obviously he's not going to fight no one, but if it ever got to a point where he goes, well, then you jump in the ring with me. Remember that? Do you remember that the young guy that kept trolling Wilder?
Yeah.
And I can't remember what he was saying a lot of stuff which was outlandish about Wilder's family, kids, and all sorts of stuff. So Wilder said, no problem, flew to where the guy trains and went into his gym. This is online, you can watch this. Went into his gym. This man is shorter than me. He's in like the same division as Mayweather. Wilder is a heavyweight, and he's tall and he's long-armed. And this guy was in the studio going, all right, cool. Like, Wilder's this, Wilder's that. Wilder stepped into the studio and said, what was it you were saying? You lot, give him some gloves and give me some gloves. Didn't even jump in the ring. He was chasing him around the gym. Right?
It got long for him.
It got he started running into the bathroom trying to lock the door after all that talk. I feel like if we're going to knock down our people, just understand these are the same people that we built up and are strong enough to defend their own as well. That's how I feel. I'm not saying it's going to come for you, but just understand these are big people doing big stuff. Big shout out to the person that texted in, Kieran. Well done to you. Kieran says that, it's how he lost. But you know what? It's not about how a man loses in my eyes. It's how he picks himself up afterwards.
For sure.
I'm saying it to my brother
100%.
as well, because my brother is somebody who is anti-Joshua. And as far as I'm concerned, move. Big up yourself, AJ. It happens, and come back again at some point soon. And the barber that was in the barbershop today when I was getting my hair cut. You too. My dear entertainment correspondent, Akua.
Oh dear, football's cut into my time.
No, we still got good time. Let's go. Talk to us. What you got here? What you got for us?
So I've got a bunch of stuff. Today, though, because I never do books, so I'm doing books today because I've been reading a lot. I'm a bookworm anyway, but my schedule's busy and I don't get to read as much as I want to.
Okay.
So I found 4 brilliant books. I'm going to run through them. So the first is My Sister, the Serial Killer by Oyinkan Braithwaite. It's about a young lady called Korede, and her sister, Ayula, is a bit of a serial killer. And it's just exploring, it's set in Nigeria, and it's exploring how one sister has the back of another sister who's doing some terrible things, and the challenges that comes in between that. And it's then her sister, who's kind of seen as the prettier one, sets her sights on a doctor that her sister Korede has been keeping an eye on. And so it's like, what happens when jealousy, loyalty comes into fruition. It's a wicked book. It's a quick read. It's so good. And it was shortlisted for the Women's Prize for Fiction this year.
Nice.
Also, we have An American Marriage by Tayari Jones. Now, it's an American story, African-American story about these two newlyweds, Celestial and Roy. They're about to embark on the American dream. They've just got married, starting a new life together, and then something happens and Roy gets sent down for something that he didn't do.
Okay.
And it's about how their relationship potentially stands the test of time whilst he's away, and how her life changes and how his life changes, and whether or not when he lands they're going to reconcile or not. It's a really nice little story about loyalty, race, justice, and all that good stuff. Another book is a British author, Candice Carty-Williams. Her book Queenie has been doing the rounds. Everyone's been loving it, and I finally got to read it, and it really is a good book. It's very British, very London. It's about a young lady who has had hell in her dating life, and she's just trying to find herself. But what makes it different from the obvious kind of romantic story is that she's dealing with mental health and family dynamics, and it really challenges the black family dynamic. Not even black family dynamic, I shouldn't say that. It's just family dynamic, friends dynamic, work dynamics, and how relationships, we don't treat relationships and breakups as sometimes how heavy they are. It's emotional, it's draining on the brain, and sometimes you just can't get your stuff together.
Name of the author there?
Sorry, Candice Carty-Williams.
I believe Candice was on Jasmine Dotawala show last week.
Oh, I didn't realise.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she's lovely. She's so cool, and young British author who's coming up in the game, and it's brilliant to see, her doing her thing. So It's a brilliant story. And another one called To Kill the Truth. Now, Sanborn, I don't really know about him. Don't even know if he's American or British, to be fair, but his story is so good. It's about this young lady called Maggie Costello who used to work at the White House, and this person's going around destroying libraries because they want to destroy the truth, because they want to remix history and start from scratch. So it's like, imagine their theory is, this entity's theory is, if we get rid of all the history, then no one can say there was slavery, the Holocaust didn't exist, all the bad things that happened don't exist, and we start fresh, so no one can blame anyone, and we start again instead of holding on to the past. It just challenges some thoughts, and it's a really good book. It's by Sanborn, To Kill the Truth. Wicked.
Nice.
And so that's my books section.
Books. You're
going to buy them?
I'm still trying to finish the last book I bought.
What is that?
The Metro from Friday the... What was Friday? The 24th of May. It was a week and a bit ago.
I don't want to talk to you anymore. Okay, so...
I'm playing. I didn't buy the book.
Stuff.
I didn't buy it. But yeah, go on.
I don't know if you guys watched it. I mean, it's been hitting social media. And
which one?
It's called When They See Us.
Yes. I've heard this is emotional.
I've heard it, but I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, so
I've heard it's emotional. Boy.
Listen, it's directed... It's on Netflix for everyone who hasn't seen it yet. It's directed by Ava DuVernay of Selma and The 13th Frame and Wrinkle in Time. And it's a 4-part drama covering the real life story of the Central Park Five. Now, this was a crime that happened, an event that happened in 80s New York, where a young white lady was jogging through the Central Park and got brutally attacked and raped, left for dead. And same time, simultaneously, there were a group of young black kids and Hispanic kids running around doing what they do. Some of them were getting up to nonsense, doing some criminal acts, and then some of them were just running around with a pack. And then the police rounded up 5 young guys between the ages of, I think, 13 and 15. One actually turned 16, and decided that they were the guilty party. And there was a documentary that was out maybe last year or a year before on Netflix, which showed actual footage and how it all played out. So already that got me. So when I heard that Ava was going to dramatise this, I was like, okay, cool. This is going to be another taking. And it's a story that needs to kind of be in the public domain. Also, it's politically poignant because a certain current president of America, took out an 85 grand ad in 4 national New York newspapers calling for the death penalty, calling these guys animals, blaming these guys. And the thing is, what was terrible, these young boys were in the interrogation room, forced practically to make a statement and confess. They confessed, and if you see the real life footage, it's terrible how they're coerced and forced to kind of admit something they didn't do, because they were all given false hope that they'd come home if they just said whatever they said. It's an important story. You've got to see, you've got to watch it. And it actually stars a British actor called Rhys Noy, and he plays Mateus Reyes. And this Mateus is the guy who actually did it. And after maybe about almost 13 years, where one of the last guys was last of the Central Five was still in prison, a guy called Corey, he happened to run up into Mateus and cross paths, and in the end, Mateus confessed to the rape and exonerating the rest of them. So the guys in real life now have been exonerated, and they've been awarded like 41 million from the state for their lost years. I spoke to Rhys, and he spoke about, he's moved to LA. He spoke about not actually wanting to take the role because it's playing someone who's so heinous. But he took the role, and he just said it was important to be a part of this story. So he spoke about actually meeting the Central Park Five in real life.
I just feel really lucky to be able to have told this story, and the men as well. The five men: Corey, Antron, Raymond, Youssef, and Kevin. Just the most sort of grounded and beautiful men when you consider what they've been through. And Corey particularly, I mean, the energy around him, he literally thanks Mateus for freeing him, which I just think, to have that strength to be able to do that and not carry anger or resentment. And he says to me when I spoke, he was like, he saved me. And I just think that's beautiful to be able to see it that way.
Yeah, so he basically, he said that Corey forgave Mateus. I mean, that's a lot of inspiration there. But it's a great dramatization. Very sad, heartbreaking, but it is an important watch. And finally, just Ma. I went to see Ma last week. It's brilliant.
What's Ma?
Ma starring Octavia Spencer. She's in...
Oh, M.A. Ma, yeah.
She's a kooky, quirky lady called Suan who invites a bunch of teenagers to party at her house until and it's all fun and good until she turns a bit mad. She's got a little bit of a backstory that she needs to sort out. This is why these things are happening. It's weird, it's surreal, and it's, not often you get a black woman in a role that's nothing to do with nothing. She's acting insane, and especially for Oscar-winning Octavia Spencer, it's a great role. Film's okay, it's a bit ropey, but it's a teenage / fun movie.
What would you rate it out of 10?
We gave it a 65 out of 100. That's like average.
So 6.5.
No, actually 3.5.
No, you said 65 out of 100.
Oh, 6.5 out of 10.
So 6.5 out of 10.
Maybe, all right.
What school did you go to,
I went to a
maths?
school of whatever I wanted to learn. Whatever I wanted to learn was right. That's where I went to school.
No problem.
And that's it.
Well, thank you very much.
No
Is there anything
problem.
you're going to go and see this week?
I'm going on holiday this week.
Where are you going?
Mind your business. And I'm going to Santorini.
Okay.
Going party in Santorini.
Party in
So I'm
Santorini.
off.
Going anywhere, Nisha?
I'm going Rotterdam in.
Oh, yeah,
July.
obviously, yeah.
But a holiday. Orlando. I might be going to Orlando Carnival for work,
Yay.
and then I'm gonna turn it into a holiday in October.
Oh, excuse me. What about you, Manny?
Manny. No,
Annie, Sammy. Man, I was trying to mix Samuel and Annie. Nah, it didn't work. Okay, so Samuel and Annie.
But I'm hoping to do New York August times, around Afropunk times.
Afropunk.
Yeah, because my friend's performing, so hopefully I can make that happen.
Which friend is this one?
Goldlink.
Okay, all right then.
Yeah.
He knows people in high places. Yes, I went to the gym with Bob Marley yesterday.
Wait, you just had a
Marley,
superstar give you a freestyle and leave the studio. You talk about you have friends as well.
The only reason the superstar came is because he knew you was also going to be in the show. But you came late, innit? So because you came late, he had to leave to catch a flight, but he would have missed it for you if he knew you were going to come about 20 minutes afterwards. So how about that? Ladies and gentlemen, this is Aurie Styla, BBC Radio London, The Scene. I'm going to head off soon, but before I head off, I've got to give my my guests a big shout out. So firstly, let me ask Nisha, how can people follow you?
So I'm on Instagram, and it's at the Beauty Room London.
Nice. That's
all I'm on. I'm on Instagram.
Okay. Oh, no, okay, no worries. The Beauty Room London, based in Essex. And
had to add that in.
Yeah, I had to, didn't it? Because you tried to shade West London. Samuel Eni. What about you? How can people follow you?
Instagram, Twitter, Samuel Eni, all one word. Samuel spelt the normal way, and ENI on the end of that. And you can catch me on MTV now as well. So.
No, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You can catch me on MTV now.
Yeah, on MTV, chilling with my friend Kurt Cobain, and Bob Marley and those people. Okay, what about you, Akua?
God, everywhere. British Blacklist for the regular stuff. Then Sundays producing for Dot and Adebayo, and sometimes I'm here with a lovely Aurie every 2 weeks with my entertainment slot.
Nice.
That's it.
Nice. Do you like the name entertainment correspondent?
I don't mind it.
I think it's a good name. I think it's a nice
I think
title.
it's a great name.
Important.
There you go. And big shout out to my guest who had to shoot off as well because he's catching a flight really, really early. And that is Agent Sasko. If you want to follow him, literally go on social media, type in @Agent Sasko. He mentioned about Twitter being a bit of a trouble for him to log into, but that's no problem. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Aurie Styla, The Scene on BBC Radio London. I'll be back next week, Monday, 8 till 10. If you missed any of the show, you can go to the BBC Sounds app or bbc.co.uk/sounds and listen back to the show. I'm gone. Take it easy. You can follow me @Aurie Styla. Later, people. Take care.